Today we're reviewing one of Nike's most popular shoes of all time, designed by Tinker Hatfield in the 90s, the Air Max 90. And this hopefully should be one of the most in-depth reviews you've ever seen of this shoe. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Chris, and on this channel I like to review men's clothes, shoes, and grooming products as a whole. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and hit subscribe. And without further ado, let's get straight to the point. These shoes fit true to size, but they are narrow. So if you have a wide or a flat foot, then you may want to consider going up half size just for comfort reasons. The shoe is really snug all the way around from the heel to the toe. The insoles are kind of stiff, but they're not glued to the inside of the shoe, and they're easily replaceable. And actually, speaking of the insoles, they are abnormally large, and it makes the shoe feel a little bit slimmer than it already is. You can see that extra bit of material that sits under where your foot arch should be. And for those of you wondering, these actually do add height. It adds actually 1.2 inches, and for most people, that isn't a bad thing. Ooh, shaylash. And the Air Max 90s features this varied leveled, I'm trying to get it out, I'm sorry guys, this is like varied level eye holes for your laces, so you got some play on how you want to lace them up and style them, which I like a lot. This shoe is actually a lot slimmer than you would think. It doesn't open up wider at any part of the shoe, and the toe is rounded off. Even when you loosen up the laces, it's still a pretty snug fit on the sides of the shoe. And honestly, depending on how you wear your shoes, that could be a pro or a con. For me, it doesn't make a difference. Cushioning around the ankles is robust and gives a lot of padding. The same thing can be said for the tongue as well. It's a nice thick boy from the top to the bottom. So the insole is pretty firm as far as insoles go. But as I mentioned before, it isn't glued to the shoe and can be easily replaced, which I highly recommend. But either way, these shoes are going to take some breaking in before they get really comfortable. These were originally designed for running, but I don't think that's the intention Nike has for them anymore, seeing as how on the Nike website they have them listed under lifestyle instead of running. So if you're looking for running shoes, these ain't it. These aren't the most comfortable shoes in the world. I would put Air Force Ones and Huaraches above these as far as comfort, but overall I would rate it about fair, and they'll get the job done. When I say the price will vary on these, I really mean it. The Air Max 90 retails for $120 for the most basic colors like the wolf grays, the all whites, the all blacks. You get it. However, some colorways have really low demand, and if you look around, you can find some for as low as $60. But on the other end of that, some can go for as up to $1,200. And of course, it's the off-whites. And the prices on some colorways will fluctuate pretty frequently. For example, when I first started shopping for this light bone colorway, the prices were sitting in the $150 to $170 range. I watched prices for about 3 weeks, and then they dropped to about the $130 range. So of course, when I saw that, I bought them. And before shooting this video, I went back and checked and saw that they're averaging again around the $150 to $160 range. Now let's take a look at the materials of the shoes, because there's just so much going on. The extra eye holes on these shoes that I mentioned earlier are actually covered in a polyurethane, or TPU as Nike calls it, along with the Air Max logo here. The toe box is actually covered in this really thin synthetic mesh that feels like it almost has a layer of sponge in between it, but I don't think it does. And after that, Nike starts to hit you with the old razzle dazzle. So the toe and the upper actually has this leather wrapping that goes from one side of the ankle all the way around to the other. Then the Nike check itself is a different type of leather from this toe wrapping leather, but it's not nubuck, it's definitely not suede, but again, it's not the same leather as this one. So I don't know what it is, but it's still a different one. You know what I meant. This back branding patch is a thick rubber that just feels so good to run your fingers across. I don't know why, I just like, it's satisfying. It's a really thick rubber. Then they finish it all off with this nice suede accent right here, and I think it just ties everything together so nicely. They do this every year. And I say all that just to say that the material cohesiveness on this shoe is so good. It's probably one of my favorites. And I want to note that the solid colorways usually come in leather variations as well, just so you know. So who are these for? If you're looking for a pair of training shoes, these are not it. If you want something with a similar silhouette to the Air Force Ones, but not quite the Air Force Ones, then this might be something to get. Again, I don't see why you couldn't walk around in these all day. Overall, these are classic. These are a staple in anyone's closet, just like the Blazers, just like the Air Force Ones, just like the NMDR ones. So if you're looking for a shoe that blends more of that athletic look with a casual shoe, I think that's exactly what these do, and they do it really well. And I'll probably make a how to style video after I kind of get a feel for them a little bit more and see what they really look good with. But for a shoe that's probably older than half the people watching this video, it sure does look good.